have watched prayers die in the very mouth that spoke them, not because God refused, but because the one who asked canceled the request in the next breath. If you want the truth plainly, the manifestation killer is inner contradiction, double-mindedness, praying for one thing, while imagining, feeling, and rehearsing its opposite. Stop doing this now and your life will begin to move. I'm not speaking of words you say out loud. I mean the quiet stream of imaginal acts you permit in the privacy of your mind. That murmur is your true prayer. Assumption, felt as true and persisted in, hardens into fact. God is not far off. God is your own wonderful human imagination. When you assume the end and feel from it, you have prayed. When you return to it, you have persisted. And the world, obedient as a mirror, arranges itself to echo the decree you hold within. There are two men in you. One is a reporter. He worships appearances, scrolls the headlines, measures delays, waits for proof, and calls that being realistic. The other is an author. He appoints the end, feels the relief of fulfillment, and lets the world receive its order. You cannot serve both. One of them must die in you tonight. Let the reporter go. Let the author rise. The killer wears many masks. I hope it happens. I'm trying. Maybe if they change first, when the money arrives, then I'll believe. Listen closely. All of that is asking as a beggar and living as a doubt. You request with your lips and revoke it with your imagination. You visit the end once, but you rehearse the lack 50 times. You say, I forgave, and then replay the wound. You say, I'll be paid, and then check the account with a sigh of failure. That sigh is prayer. That replay is prayer. That is the killer. We will remove it tonight. I will give you a simple way, 5 movements to end inner contradiction, and install a single prayer so clean, so steady. The world must obey it. I will walk you through it now. You will feel the shift before this hour closes. First, choose one end, not 10, not a vague more. One unseen that proves your world is already as you desire. If it is reconciliation, hear the voice you most want to hear, warm and ordinary. Let's start again. If it is money, see the exact line in the banking app, €2,000, incoming transfer. If it is health, feel the ordinary lightness in your body as you tie your shoes and walk without thought. Make it brief, 2 to 5 seconds, no montage, no striving, a single proof. Second, enter it properly. Do not see yourself watching yourself. Be yourself. Use first-person vision and sensation. Hold the phone. Hear the words in your ear. Feel the drop of relief under the ribs, the small unforced smile, the warmth that replaces strain. That after feeling having, not reaching is the tone that plants the seed. Third, dissolve the root. If you demand unexpected, you dismiss the how from your jurisdiction. Your office is cause. Sequence belongs to life. Whisper this law. I appoint the end. I ignore the root. When the old mind returns with its ledger how, when, neun, who, answer once, old report, then return to the end. You are not negligent. You are governing your only expensive asset, attention. Fourth, seal it in sats, state akin to sleep. Let the body grow heavy, sweet, and quiet. Let the breath slow. Place your one loop in imagination. Run it 3 to 5 times, each softer, each truer. Stop on the first wave of inevitability when asking for it would feel absurd. Whisper, thank you. Gratitude after the fact is the signature of a completed prayer. Fifth, enact alignment. Take one tiny physical act that a person who has would do, not to force the means, but to agree with the end. Move a bill from due to paid with a sticky note, paid. Draft the glad we've cleared this up message and save it. Polish your wallet. Place one note inside and bless it. No grand gesture. A small, inevitable sign to your own subconscious. I am that one now. At night revise. If any scene contradicted your end, a cold reply, a delay, a refusal, rewrite it in imagination until the better end feels like the only one that ever occurred. Then sleep in It is finished. Revision is mercy. Mercy is power. You say to me, but I have done all this and nothing. No, you visited the end and lived the day as a reporter. You asked for fruit and watered weeds. The law is impartial. It yields to the dominant prayer, not the loudest words. Therefore, we will discipline the only thing that matters, controlled attention. I give you a call and response train your inner choir. I ask, you answer. Who rules? My inner word. What is real? What I accept as done? What do I ignore? Old reports. What do I feel? Fulfillment. When? On. Now. Again, who rules? My inner word. Let us make it practical for 72 hours. Keep this protocol. Morning before the outer phone, touch the inner one. 1. Run your 2 to 5 second loop once. Stand only when the after feeling clicks in. Midday, set 3 gentle chimes. At each chime, eavesdrop on your inner talk. If it pleads or bargains, change the script at once. From will it to it is. From I hope to I have. Whisper, of course. Evening 5 to 7 minutes of sats. Loop, gratitude, sleep. Throughout the day, when contradiction appears, label it old report. Breathe once. Touch the end for 10 seconds. Then take the next tiny action from the mood of fulfillment. Prayer without motion is fantasy. Motion without prayer is noise. Marry them. Carry this card for 7 days in, not mean. Already, not someday. Author, not reporter. I am is the cause. Days 1 and 2 sharpen the loop. Master the after feeling. Days 3 and 4 dissolve the mabdao. Hourly. Double sat. Day 5-3. Micro actions from the end. Days 6 and 7 strong revision. Release timing. Gratitude after the fact. Why does this end a killer? Because the mirror is not maker. The outer world does not cause your inner state. It reflects. You have been scolding the glass for the face you wear. Change the face within and behold the obedience of the reflection. Consider a radio. You do not wrestle the speaker to change the song. You tune your receiver. Or picture a court. Imagination is the only court of appeal. Outer facts are witnesses. Once the judge accepts your decree, the witnesses are dismissed. Or think of a garden. You plant by assumption, water with attention, weed by revision, rest by sats, and harvest by persistence. Let me speak to the great excuses of the reporter, for you will hear them rise in you. Bah, this is pretending. No, this is appointing. Pretending is asking with crossed fingers. Appointing is feeling the end as law. But what if nothing happens? Silence is incubation, not denial. Seeds are quiet before sprouting. Keep the tone, not the stopwatch. What if I need it by Friday? Urgency belongs to means. Return to the end, then act as a person who has in clarity, not panic. But they won't change. As long as you hold them as unchangeable, they will not. Others are yourself pushed out the image you accept of them, made visible. Dare to revise them, hold the kinder image, and persist. This is not manipulation. This is mercy. I have proved this. I have revised letters after they were sent, and later received their new contents. I have stood in rooms I had not yet entered, arranged them in imagination, and later found them arranged as seen. This is not superstition. This is law. Simple, severe, obedient, orange. Let us do the work now. Sit or lie where you are. Let the jaw unhook, shoulders drop. Breathe in 4, out 6 twice. Choose your one scene. Fix it. Enter it as yourself. See what you would see if it were true. Hear what you would hear. Feel the bodily echo of fulfillment. Once, twice, thrice. Softer each time. Stop at inevitability. Whisper, thank you. Now we remove the killer by oath. 5 refusals. 5 returns. Say softly, I refuse to argue with facts that contradict my end. I refuse to beg reality for permission. I refuse to measure sprouts as harvest. I refuse to share my seed with gossip. I refuse to fear silence. I return to the end. I return to the feeling. I return to inner agreement. I return to quiet command. I return to gratitude after the fact. You will want a sign. The mind enjoys token. Give it a neutral proof for 48 hours. Appoint a phrase you rarely hear, or a specific image, a yellow ladder, a red feather, a friend from years past. Feel it once in sats, then forget it. When it appears, smile. Your inner court rules. Then transfer that certainty to the matter that matters. Let me address the subtlest form of the killer, checking the field. You test your prayer by scanning for evidence, and not finding it immediately, you reassume. The farmer who digs up his seed daily has faith in digging, not in the seed. Your work is tone and return. Tone, the calm of already mine. Return, the swift correction the moment you notice you are praying for what you do not want. Catch it and change it on the spot. Perhaps you feel unworthy. You think your past disqualifies you. Hear me, the law does not consult your history. It obeys your present assumption. The prodigal returned in rags and was robed at once. Your robe is a mood. Put it on. But I am tired. Then rest in the end. Sabbath is not a day on a calendar. It is the rest of the man who has finished. Enter it by feeling done, and do the small obvious act that matches it. If your subject is a person, stop scolding shadows. Speak to them within as you desire them to be, and accept your new hearing of them as the truth. If your subject is money, stop petting lack. Appoint the exact proof, feel it, and honor it with tidy order. Clean your wallet, prepare your invoice. Bless the channel, but worship the source. If your subject is health, stop introducing yourself by your diagnosis. Appoint the ordinary proof, ease in motion, and feel that ordinariness now. I give you an identity script. Speak it like law. I am the one who lives from the end. I point outcomes and ignore the root. My imagination is God in action. I am not a reporter of facts. I am the author of fact. What I feel as true becomes visible. I feel it real. The world complies. Again, slower, let it drop into bone. I live from done. I withdraw attention from lack. I return attention to receipt. What I repeat, I become. It is finished. Now, the simplest daily altar. Each morning, speak your chief aim aloud in one sentence as if already fulfilled. Then speak your identity script. Then take one tiny action that a person who has would take. At night, revise whatever opposed your end and sleep in gratitude. This is your system. It is not glamorous, but it is royal. Persist in it, and watch how quickly the world must bow. You will be tempted to confess the old prayer to friends. How slow it is. How unfair. How impossible. Do not borrow their choir. Choose silence or testimony. Silence protects the seed. Testimony waters it. The killer loves gossip, because gossip rehearses the old image with feeling. Refuse it if, during these days, an impulse arrives, call this person. Check this drawer. Open that email, follow it calm. Inspiration is not frenzy. It is a quiet, of course. Do not confuse panic with guidance. Panic belongs to means. Guidance flows from end. I will leave you with one more image. Imagine a bank stamp. The heavy rubber stamp that marks a check deposit. Your imaginal act is that stamp. You stamp the end. The clerks, people, routes, timing do the running. Your job is the stamp, not the counters. Stamp it cleanly once, and if the old mind tries to snatch the paper back, stamp it again. Then step away from the window. Now, place your hand lightly upon your chest. Say with me, not as a wish but as law. I do not cancel my prayer. I live from the end. I feel it real, and the world obeys. Again, slower. I do not cancel my prayer. I live from the end. I feel it real, and the world obeys. The manifestation killer has been named and dismissed. It is inner contradiction, begging with words while doubting with feeling. You will not do it anymore. From this moment, you choose one end. Feel it as now. Dismiss the root. Enact a tiny agreement. Revise contradictions. And rest in gratitude. When the old habit whispers, check, answer, old report, and return at once to the end, I leave you as I began plainly. If you will stop cancelling your prayer and persist in a single inner decree, the outer must obey. It has no choice. The law is simple and severe as sunrise. God, your own wonderful human imagination does not fail. Live from done now and let the world hurry to catch you.